Hello everyone. Kader, can you able to hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Yeah.
you.
Okay. So hello everyone. Today we are going to see about low code love Salesforce automation tool that is Apex Code. So before starting it, I would like to thank everyone who have joined in this meeting. Thanks for a wonderful time. When it comes to Salesforce automation tool, we have more tools like workflow, process builder, upload process. So out of which we are mainly going to focus on the flow builder today. Next slide, Kader.
Kader, are you sharing your screen?
Yeah,
Okay.
Sorry guys, we have some technical problem. Sorry about that.
yeah, my screen is visible.
Yeah, now I can see it, Pasha. So you can move
Yeah,
on to next. Yeah, hi guys. This is our team. Kader Basha is our community group leader, and myself Sundravel, uh, is the community group co-leader. We are working the same MST Solutions company. So this is our intro. Next slide. So today is a good day for all the participants who have joined in this meeting. Since our community group leader is going to act as a speaker today, he's going to tell more about the flow builders. So instead of using Apex code, you can do all the functionalities using the flow builder itself. He's going to demonstrate more about that. So he has more knowledge on Salesforce administration part, and he has 3+ years of work experience in MSC solutions. So next, I'm going to say about some interesting facts about the admin group. We have successfully conducted more than 10 meetings. When it comes to public interest, we have more participants joining in our community groups, and we are also actively trending in the social medias like Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. In YouTube, we have a channel. So in that channel, we used to post all the meetups which have been hello, yeah. So
yeah,
which
yeah.
we, yes, yes, which we have done. And in the Facebook also we have a page. So in that page we used to post about the future meetups and upcoming meetups. When it comes to leader contribution, myself and Kader Bacha are actively contributing more towards the Salesforce admin group. We used to see, we used to get some speakers and present more information about the Salesforce administration part. And when it comes to previous meetups, we had a recurring meeting on Docker integration with Salesforce. We conducted 3 recurring meetings. Hope that was very helpful to all the participants who have attended it. And prior to that, they conducted mock-up interviews to clear the administrator role. And in our group, I would like to say that we have around 250 members who have joined in our Salesforce admin group. And I'm damn sure, guys. So if you follow us, and we will instruct you more. We'll give more information on how to know about the Salesforce administration and know about each settings in the administration, Salesforce administration. So without any delay, I would like to uh, give to Kader Basha. So he'll be taking out from here. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Sundaravir. So, good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I introduced myself. I'm myself Kader Basha. I'm a Salesforce admin group Richie lead. So I have 3+ years of experience in Salesforce domain and have handful of experience on the flow builder and the point and click concepts. So today we have some important concepts like flow builder. So I can explain about flow builder. This is the alternative for the coding concept. So today's agenda is what is a roll-up summary field. So today we're going to create a roll-up summary field through the flow builder, because this is the one the complicated in the lookup relationship. So roll-up summary field, we are going to look on this concept. So what is a roll-up summary field? What is the necessity of automation? So if we have automation means, so in Salesforce we have a lot of automation. So we look at the necessity of automation and what are the limitations of roll-ups. So roll-up summary concept also have some limitations. That's all overcome by flow builder. So what alternative solution do we have for the roll-up summary fields? And finally we look into the demo. After that we have question answer sessions. Finally we give the conclusion for the concept. So move on to this particular roll-up summary concept. So what is a roll-up summary field? Roll-up summary is a built-in functionality in Salesforce. So everyone know about the roll-up summary, because roll-up summary is not like that very huge and vague concept, because it's nothing but we are called as aggregation functionalities, because we already know about the aggregation in SQL also in our mathematical way. So it's like a sum, count, minimum, maximum, etc. So that's aggregated fields or created through in Salesforce as a pre-build concepts. It can be in Salesforce org means we have pre-build roll-up summary concept. So it's like a data type in the page where we go to create the data. I mean, data fields. While we choose the data types, this is the one of the options in the data types options. So in Salesforce, we can create roll-up summary fields. Means we definitely want a MD relationship, master data relationship. Otherwise, we don't have any options to create the roll-up summary field. So this is the first drawback. We need a master data relationship. If go with other relationship means it doesn't have an option as a roll-up summary. So cannot use roll-up summary fields to create a sum or count for objects related with a look. Yeah, I'm explained previously. So if you go with the lookup relationship means we don't have any options to create the roll-up summary. So the roll-up field automatically looks for the change in related records and automatically updates the master record. So once we go with the roll-up records means it takes the details of the child records and show in parent records. Whether we have performed some DML operations like insert, update, delete, undelete means it then operations are also reflected, and we want to reflect it in the roll-up field. So that's the vice versa concept. So both way we can communicate the roll-up records. So this can be created only when the relationship between parent and the child is master data relationship. If we want do some roll-up summary operations to want to perform the roll-up summary in our Salesforce org, we definitely need the master data relationship. It's nothing but it's a compulsory. It contains a parent and the child. So in our session, we have a quick demo with the superb examples. So initially I explained what the example, we have admin object, because the Salesforce admin group means, so synthetically I add admin as an object, which having a Trichy as child object. It means admin is a parent and Trichy is a child. So we can calculate the number of child objects exist for the admin and display them in the admin object. When a new Trichy is added, the roll-up summary field in admin is updated automatically. So here they can give the explanation about we are going to count the child objects, child records for the parent. So here this is one of the example we're going to count the records in child. So another one example is we can calculate the summary of the child records also. So I can explain in the later demo. So this is a schema description. I can create the object, two objects. Admin is the parent and Trichy is the child. So here means a master data relationship. So if you go with admin means I can create the lookup relationship. If we go with the master data relationship means the lookup concept, I mean the lookup field is a required one. So we want to give the parent record compulsory, but here the lookup relationship means that's the optional one. So I can show the schema description of my objects, I mean admin and Trichy. So move on to the what is the necessity of automation. So everyone knows about the automation process in the Salesforce org, because Salesforce org have some bunch of automation processes in a earlier from earlier to now. So we can see workflow, process builder, approval processes, and now this the current one is the flow builder. It's a new and updated versions. So I heard about the winter 21 also have some new updation in the flow builder. So there are two more options to create a roll-up field without MD relationship. So one is in earlier stage we can use, one is the Apex code, another one is automation process. So why we choose automation over Apex code? I can explain this one because point and click is the best one compared with the Apex code, because we want to know more logic about the Apex code. So where we want to write the code and which is the target object, what all are the events occurred. So we need to find the record ID. So lot of things we need to find before once we want to write the Apex code. If we go with the automation process, it's so simply. So we can integrate different automation tools like process builder and auto launch to flow to perform a complex process, and can even call Apex code from the tools. Yeah, and if we want to perform some business logic, we need to create Apex class using at invocable annotation. So we put at invocable annotation in the Apex class and call that Apex class in the process builder. Means that's one of the things we can use both coding and the automation process in a same concept. Otherwise we can call the flow in process builder. So we have auto launched flow. So the auto launch flow need to invoke the flow. So we want to call the flow in process builder. That's all the things in admin concept. So I move on to the automation types. So earlier explained about the types of the automation. So automation process divided into 4 different types based on the functionality. So if go with the workflow means we have 4 actions on a field update, email alert, and new task. After that, the outbound message. The outbound message is not available in remaining rest of the automation process. That's the unique one in a workflow. The process builder means we have all the options except delete. We cannot delete any records. I mean, we cannot perform the delete DML operation in the work process builder. In approval process means the same actions which is in workflow except outbound messages. So we need an approver for either accept or reject the task. I mean actions. It's the approval process. And the last but not least one is the flow builder. Yes, the flow builder have all those demerits. It has delete and collect the inputs from the user and have all the DMLs, insert, update, create, everything in flow builder. So we can use flow builder to create the roll-up summary field. I can explain in a demo how to do roll-up summary in the flow builder. What all are the limitations of roll-up summary field? Yeah, I initially said a roll-up summary field has some limitations. So it has some demerits while we create the roll-up summary in the pre-built standard concept as well as the custom concept. So a roll-up summary field can be created only on records. So we cannot create for the fields. This is the one main thing we can create for the records alone, which are having master detail relationship. Yeah, we definitely want the MD relationship because we see the details of child records in the parent record. That's called the roll-up summary field. It can be either sum, count, minimum, maximum, whatever it is. We can create the roll-up summary concept from parent to see the details of the child records. Your master detail relationship cannot be changed to lookup relationship after creating a roll-up summary field on an object. If we create the roll-up summary field means the relationship cannot be changed into lookup because that has some child records, and the child records have some parent records. The parent records have roll-up summary field means it's totally we are not able to delete the relation. I mean interchange the relationship. When you refer to your roll-up summary field in a list view or report, you cannot use certain qualifiers. I mean, including if you go with some filters in a list view means we can create some criteria like starts with contains, does not contain, includes, excludes, and within. These all are the qualifiers. So used in list view filters. What alternative solution do we have? So we talk about the alternative solutions means we have some options. Earlier I can explain about the Apex code and automation process. Here we have some extraordinary and brief description about the and this very small explanation about this alternative solution. Now we can able to create a sum, count, minimum and maximum field to populate values and objects that do not share a master data relationship using either automation or developing concepts. So if we don't have any master data relationship, we have a lookup relationship means we want to create a roll-up summary field means, so we definitely go with Apex code or else flow builder or some other automation process means. So initially we have Apex and trigger concept, after that flow process builder. So in flow means we have some flavors, I mean types, screen flow, auto launched flow. Auto launched flow means the flow with process builder, triggered flow and lightning scheduler flow. In the winter 21 updation also we have some triggered record triggered flow and scheduler flow. We have some updation in flow, so we can use all those things in flow. So for example, first I'm going the go with the Apex trigger. So we want to know if go with Apex triggers means we want to make sure that the details we want to create the Apex trigger. First we want to know about the relationship between the two objects. If we go with the lookup relationship, we want to create a roll-up summary in lookup relationship means the first option is the Apex trigger. So we want to create the relationship, I mean lookup relationship, and we want to find out the object where we're going to write the trigger and classes. After that, which one is the target object? So what is the event to want to create a trigger? It means if we want to find the objects where we write the code means here I have choose is a Tricia because it's a child object. I want to perform some operations on the parent object. So I want to write the code in the child object, and that obviously the parent object is the target object. So we want to perform some operations. I mean, we want to write a code one object to reflect to another object means it has some relationship means we definitely go with the after events, because there are two scenarios we choose after events. One is the relationship based objects. Another one is the ID based. Once we got a unique record ID means we can perform delete operations. So we want to go with the after events. So here I used after insert, after update, after delete, and after undelete. So after that, I need to call the class and methods in this trigger, because I wrote all business logics in my Apex class, because we want to write, we are able to write all the business logic in Apex trigger also, but that's not a good one. That's not a best practice. We are also follow the best practices also in the Apex trigger concept. So I wrote the all business logic in class. So under the some method. So we because we want to use the class again for different triggers also. So I can here create the Apex class and call that methods here. Yeah, this is my Apex class. So I have a method sum of members. So here I have trigger.new concept. So I used list as a trigger.new. So I can perform some operations here. I want to store the record ID. So I used set storage, and I want to update the record means, I mean child record sum and either count is updated in parent means I need a list, and I want to insert and update the things whatever performance I going to perform, that also stored in a list in child object. So I need a list from the child object also. So I do some for loops and check. Before that we need to check either is the null or it contains any values. That's the best practice. We want to check the list every time it's a null or contains any values. After that I can perform the SOQL queries. So once we definitely make sure that SOQL query is the must follow the best practices, because we go with SOQL queries in a blind manner means it's fetched all records from the org. So that spoil the utilization of CPU and the governor limits, that hit the governor limits also. So we need to use best practices. For example, I used var class in SOQL queries, because here I used the parent to child SOQL queries means I used var class to sort the required records alone. So here I mentioned this admin IDs, it's a set storage. So use in operator. In operator means we are going with the bulkified concept. If if we compare with the single instance means we used equal to operator. Otherwise, we can go with for the bulkified means we use in operators. After that, we need to perform some for loop concept. If we go iterate the list and find the what the next exact items, I mean record we need, and calculate the sum operation, because I used decimal total is a temporary variable, and calculate some operation. After that, I assign the values to the temporary variable. So here I can update the admin records. So the calculated roll up records updated in parent objects. So after that, we have the second option is flow. The flow means we have two more options: auto launched flow, and another one is the triggered flow. So if go with the first one, the auto launched flow means we need to create a flow and create some lookup based concept means we use to get records. So here I use Trichy object in the get records. After that, we need to perform the loop concept. So the loop performs some loop assignment. So it's a both way. So we need to perform the like for loop used in Apex code. That same concept happened here also, but it's a point and click manner. After that, we need to update the records. Whether the record is updated, then only the result updated in the parent record. After that, we need to trigger the flow. The small difference between the auto launched flow and the triggered flow, that is here we need to describe the event, whether it is the after or before events. After that, we need to choose the object, which object we need to write, do the some flow concept. There Apex code also we need to find the object where we need to write the code. Here also same Trichy child object. So after the record is saved, only we can perform this one. So we need to perform some operations wise categories also, whether it's perform in a created or else updated or else created or updated. I choose created or updated concept here. So this is a trigger flow. I can explain in my demo also. So this is a page we need to choose some particular concept for the triggered flow. Either it is perform in record is created or updated, or else created or updated or else deleted. So the run the flow which event based concept after the record is saved. So I choose this one also. So what all are the changes, I mean challenges in Apex we faced while write some business logic? By generally, not only roll up summary concept, by generally we are going to write Apex code means we face some challenges. So need to maintain all the insert and update events in a single trigger for a single object. Yeah, we want single, if we go right for a Apex trigger means for the particular object means we need to follow a single trigger, and rest of the things business logics in a individual Apex handler class. So we need to call that class in a trigger, because this is the one we cannot we overcome the loop concept. Once the recursive loop occurs in an org means every action you can perform as a DML operation in your org that send through a system DML exception. So we need to have handler logic in separate Apex class. This is the one of the best practice to avoid recursive loop in our org, because this is not only restrict the recursive loop means it's a reusable concept. We can reuse this class for many Apex triggers based on our requirement. So mandatorily should write Apex test class should have test coverage of about 75% for and every classes. So if you want to maintain Apex, we want to deploy the things in production from UAT to production means we need to perform some test logic code coverage in Jenkins. People have some knowledge in Jenkins means they faced some errors while trying to deploy the things to production. They faced test coverage problems. So it's regretted and throw error for it's not covered and 75% of test coverage. So that's one of the basic things. While we perform more updation and enhancement in our org means that test class same trigger means that add same more functions and operations the same trigger means that reflected the test class coverage also comes low. We want to perform test class coverage also. That's the demerits. So test class should cover positive, negative, and bulk scenarios. We are not able to write a test class blindly as a simple one. We need to follow all those directions, perform all those the positive one, negative one, single instance one, and bulkify scenarios. Also, all the scenarios are covered. That the Apex trigger is it's a good one to deploy in production. Then only we can proceed. Otherwise, the test class is an app, not a valid one. So need to have trigger switch in order to turn it off in production. So if you go with have some triggers, many triggers means we perform some one trigger, but the error occur in a different trigger because the same operations are classed. I mean, conflict means, so we need to off those triggers, but some operations belong to the triggers means, so we create a trigger framework for on off switch statement. So whether we want to on, whether we, if we want some requirements on this trigger, we can on, otherwise we can off those trigger. It is possible for the initial one while we start a project and start write a trigger in a fresh org means it's possible. Otherwise you need to create a trigger on a framework in the existing orgs means, existing project means, that's not a possible one. We need to first gone through the logic and where are the triggers are used. We need to find a lot of things. That's not a possible one. So we can create the trigger switch framework for the existing one. So I want to skip the I want to dive into the demo. So skip the practical and theoretical part. I want to do some practical sessions. So everyone see my screen? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, we can see you.
Yeah, okay. So I start with the Apex trigger. So I already wait. So I already wrote a Apex trigger with Apex class. I explained in the slide. So here it is active. So I can make sure the flow is inactive and process builder is inactive. Another one, auto launch to flow is also inactive. So the Apex class alone is active. So I can perform the things. So here is my parent object. I'm going to create the new records. So this is the roll-up summary field. So I don't want to give any inputs here. So it's automatically auto-populated. So I save this record as a parent. So here parent record is created. So I'm going to create the child records. So Trichy name is East Zone. So I choose Salesforce as a parent. Here I put 150 as the group number. So save this one. So here it's not updated. So I can refresh the parent record. So it's got updated. This is the parent record. So I'm going to create another one child record means same parent. So I could put 50 as a member count. So here created another one records. So I'm going to the parent record. So that's not updated. So I can refresh it again. So it's got roll up as a sum. So I'm going to inactive this trigger. So now the trigger is inactive. So I am again going to create the new child record. So use the same parent and give 60 as the count. So I'm going to the parent record. So verify it's whether updated or not. It's not updated because as per the logic we need to update it. It's 260. It's not updated because I inactive this trigger, Apex trigger. So the concept is worked in the trigger alone. So now I am move on to the auto launched flow. Auto launched flow means I need to activate the flow and process builder also. So I activate these two things. So now I am going to create the Trichy records. So initially the parent have 200 members. So I'm going to create the new Trichy record. So I can add here 200 means so the last thing we have the child objects have some 60 records that's also calculated here. So the flow builder is performed. After that, this is the auto launched flow. We need to invocate the auto launched using the process builders. So I'm going to deactivate this process builder and flow builder also. So now I'm going to activate the triggered flow. This is not a required process builder and any other Apex code. This perform individually. So I am going to activate this one and perform the same things. So here process builder as deactivate and auto launch to flow also deactivate. Triggered flow alone is activate. So I'm going to create the new records in the child. So put some values. If I'm going to 500, so the parent record it's 960, I think. So it's also updated. So now it's worked based on the triggered flow. So I'm going to open the triggered wherever I do some performance. I started this triggered flow alone. So this is the demo I can show it. So now I'm going to inside of this one. So I choose record is created or updated. While we perform the delete operation means the trigger in the flow builders not work because we need to create another one flow for the delete operations. And we choose the after the record is saved one. So these are all the things I do here. And here we can choose the objects. And here also we need to set some criteria. The admin C is the lookup field. I mean, it's a ID, admin ID. So is null. That null is false means then only we can, because is null means there are no any other parent object. Because we go with the empty relationship means that's the parent field in child is the required one. But lookup that's not a required one. So we need to perform this condition to make sure that's the have some values. So after that we go with the get records. Here also I can choose the object, target object is the Trichy and some conditions also. Admin C equals it's a record in an admin object. So here choose all records and here choose fields and assign variables how to store record data. So this is also one of the category to we need to fill. So Trichy collection is the variable I created for this get record purpose. So here I choose ID because get record means lookup field. So I need to give ID. ID is a admin C lookup field. So which field I want to collect records and stored in parent means it's a group members. So I mentioned all these things. And after that I am going inside of the loop. In this collection variables I used in the previous get records. So first item to last item. So direction means we need to specify which direction we want to perform the records to do some roll up operations. So here after that assignment. So here total member is the field in parent object. So we need operators current item from the look Trichy loop. So here we can perform the roll up. So after that we need to connect the assignment and loop both way. So after that the update records means while we perform some updation that's also reflected in the parent objects. So here specific condition to identify records and set fields individually. So which is our target objects where we need to perform the operations means admin object. So here also perform some condition ID equals record in a admin object. So the field in the parent object total members. So we create a temporary variables in total members in flow that assigned to the parent object fields. In Apex code, we have decimal total is the temporary variable and perform some operation. After that, we assign it to that values in our parent object field. Same things happen here also. So this is a flow in triggered flow concept. In a winter 21 release also it enhanced, and we have some different record triggered concept also. So if you got time, means you guys are work out on this one. So after that, I am going to the flow builder which is auto launched. Here we don't want do anything compare with the triggered flow. So same things, what all of the things I performed in the triggered flow, same things here. This is the difference. So I need to call this one in a process builder. So I open this one, choose the Trichy. When a record is created or edited, and a condition means criteria means I set some criteria. So admin is not equal to null, because the MD is the lookup relationship is required, but lookup relationship is not a required one. So I can perform the sum operations, call the process flow process in the process builder. So roll up summary sum. So admin ID field reference means I can choose the parent object admin lookup field. So after that, I can use our flow into the process builder. So this is the things I can do the in a flow builder means in recently winter 21 release have some updations. So while we choose the debug concept, if we want to perform some particular record means we can create copy the records and fill it here. But we have some other debug options also, latest versions of flow called by subflow elements and some other things we have in updated in the winter 21 release. So I can close this one. So any questions so far now? Am I audible? Hello?
Yes, Kader.
Yeah.
Hi there.
Yeah.
This is Bishwambar. I have a
Yeah.
question. So we saw there are two ways to do this, like calculate this roll-up summary value. The auto-launched flow and the record triggered flow. So
Yeah, yeah.
in terms of performance, which one is better?
So if go with the auto launched flow means it's not automatically do the performance. I mean operations. We need to trigger again through the process builder. So it's have some issues. If you go with the triggered flow means we can choose the event types, whether it's a before or after, wherever its operations performed, either created or updated. I mean all those things performed in the process builder. That's all covered in the triggered flow. I mean record triggered flow means we don't want to do two automation simultaneously. So we need we have all options in under the same flow means why we choose that one, because that record triggered is the best one as my point of view.
Thank you.
Yeah, any other questions? So finally, I have some conclusion regarding this session. Sometimes Apex could also depend on automation process. Yeah, Lily, in previous slide, I can explain those things. If we go with some Apex, write some Apex class using at invocable annotation means that Apex class also called in the process builder. So we can perform those things. If we go with create some custom buttons in the Salesforce classic way, we can create some class. We need to perform some operations through this button means we create some Apex class using the rt invocable annotation and call that Apex class through the process builder. That's the one of the process. So automation process is one of the part in Apex code also. So new version of flow contains all those options which is available after wrote a huge lines of code in Apex. So those operations and those facilities available in flow means we can use flow simply, because this is the point and click low code love concept. After that, initially process builder doesn't have delete options, but that would be overcome by flow builder. So flow builder have all those DML operations, create, insert, update, delete, and delete, all those things. So we, as a low code lover, I would suggest to go with automation. This have and try to automation and learn more things. If you go with automation, means you can have an idea to create a difficult business logic in flow easily. Why we go with the Apex code? We want to write more codes and follow the best practices and avoid the recursive loop concept, and we can hit the governor limits also. So this, we want to make sure all those things are perfect while try to write the Apex code. That's a more confusion. So simply we go with the automation process. So I suggest everyone do choose automation over the Apex code and try to learn Flow Builder. It has more enhancements in the upcoming release. I mean, Winter 21. So this is the interesting one. It's like a game. So here you can see the bunch of words. Whether you can choose a single word, I can ask the question belongs to this. I mean, related to this word. Anyone volunteer? It's an interesting one.
Indexed field.
Indexed fields. Yeah, may I know your name?
My name is Saran.
Yeah, okay. So indexed field you choose. I can I like to ask what all are the indexed fields we used in the SQL queries.
So may I know like what is indexed fields actually in Salesforce?
You want to know indexed fields?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, we have some system generated fields in a Salesforce org. First, we are going to create the object. Means, I mean, custom object means there are 4 fields available. Before we create the custom fields, means there are like last modified, created by, and object name, and some other fields. But indexed fields, in the sense, we have the very familiar one is the unique record ID. So record ID also, it's an indexed fields. So we going to perform some SQL queries, means we used where class, where ID in means, so used that indexed fields. That's why. Are you? Yeah. Any other one?
Can you repeat your last sentence, Radha Basha? When we want to unique record?
Which one? I mean, last part.
I mean, your last sentence. I didn't get that. When we are using this indexed field?
Indexed fields, we are going to perform some SQL queries. So we used where class to avoid the CPU utilization, and we hit the governor limits. So that's indexed fields ID fetched those records which we mentioned on that records alone fetched, not all the records from the org. So this this operation
to filter out the records.
Yeah. That's the indexed fields. So any other one?
Sure.
Yeah. Any other things? Any other volunteers?
Yeah, this is Abhin.
Yeah.
I would like to take aggregation.
Aggregation. So in basically roll-up summary means we need to perform the sum, count, minimum, and maximum as an aggregation point of view. So these things also we earlier in our technical world we used in this SQL. I mean SQL concept. So that's alone we can perform as a pre-built concept in the MD relationship. So if we go with the aggregation, so we need to create a roll-up summary field. So roll-up summary field option, where we find the roll-up summary field option, either parent or child, is my question. Where we find the roll-up summary option, either parent or child.
The aggregation will be on parent, because child will be aggregated into the parent.
Yeah, awesome. It's a correct one. So we have an option roll-up summary in parent alone. If we go with the lookup relationship, that's also we didn't find the roll-up summary in the parent object also, because their parent is not a required one. Yeah, it's a correct one. So any other volunteers to choose the words?
Hi, this is Vishwambar.
Yeah.
My word is roll up.
Roll up. Okay. So it's an interesting one. So if roll up means we have a roll up summary concept. So we know about the MD relationship have the roll up summary concept. So if you go with roll up summary means in the lookup relationship point of view, so we are going to write the apex trigger. Okay, so apex trigger means which event is applicable for write the roll up summary trigger. Which event we want to choose and why?
We can choose the after events. We can have like after insert, after update, after undelete. And the after event is because like only once a record has been committed, we would like the calculation to happen on the parent object. Without the record being committed, we can't really do that. What if there's a failure? Then we would end up calculating and it won't even make sense. So that's why the after events.
Yeah, it's a good answer. Thank you. It's a good explanation. And any other volunteers?
Reparenting.
Reparenting. So where we find if we go with OWD concept means you know about the OWD, org wide defaults.
Yes.
So I need to change the OWD concepts for opportunity. So because we know about the opportunity account have the MD relationship, I need to change the settings for opportunity. Is this possible?
Can you repeat your question?
Actually, in OWD, we need to set some org-wide defaults. Either it's a private, public only, or public read only, public read write. So these three options for the objects. So we have a account and opportunities have the MD relationship. It's a standard one because we don't have any idea in the user interface that's a MD relationship. But basically in build it's a MD relationship. So we need to change opportunity settings as a private one. Is this possible?
No.
Why?
Because it's a standard object, right? So
because
in Salesforce, we don't have access to change the OWD for standard objects, if I'm not wrong.
Driven by master.
Yeah, actually, by generally parent-child concept means I take the custom object means parent-child concept means the child records controlled by parent. We cannot perform any changes in the OW device in child objects. So those all the things are controlled by parent. If we go with the MD relationship, we can edit the MD relationship field. We have an option. It's a reparenting. Okay, so you are selected word is a reparenting. So I give the explanation. Reparenting used for we can simply switch to the records alone, not the field. So we cannot do those things. If we want to change the MD relationship to lookup means we want to delete all the child records which connected to the parent. Then only we can convert to the lookup relationship. So then only we can perform the OWD operations. So the reparenting is the simply we can switch the records alone. So any other questions?
So, but my doubt is like if you want to convert from MD to lookup relationship, without deleting the records, the parent records, we cannot able to reparent it.
Without once again, can you please come?
I mean, as you said right now, when we want to convert from MD relationship to lookup relationship, we need to delete all the parent and child records. I mean, that relationship. Then only we can able to convert it. But I didn't get about exactly this reparenting. So without doing this step, we can able to achieve with this reparenting or not? That's what I'm getting confused.
Yeah, we can achieve this. You can use once we can delete the MD relationship means so that's deleted. After that, going to the recycle bin and undelete that things that comes under the lookup relationship. You can do it and view it happen.
Okay.
Not related to those reparenting. So any other words?
Thank you.
Any other words? Any other volunteers?
just what I have a question with your previous question.
Yeah.
You asked one question like, can we reparent account for the opportunity? Is it possible or not? Nobody answer on that. Right?
No, I am not asked reparenting. In OWD, we have to change the settings for the child objects. That's the question I focused. So it's not possible because all child objects in MD relationship alone, all child objects settings are controlled by parent alone. You cannot edit those things in OWD.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Kadarbash, I have one question, but not allowed
Yeah.
in this word quiz. I have a question about this today's topic.
Yeah.
So like we have 4 tools that as of now been available for automation: workflow, approval process, process builder, and flow builder.
Yeah.
Correct. So out of this flow builder, what's the difference between this flow builder and triggered flow and automatic launch flow? I was new to this flow, so I was just trying to understand this. So does 3R belongs to the same or is it different?
So initially in flow builder we have screen and auto launched flow. After that we have some updation in flow because we have recorded triggered flow, lightning scheduler flow. So we in a basic concept means we have bulkified concept. We want to perform some bulk amount of records, means we go into the batch of Apex and we want to schedule those things using the schedule Apex.
Correct.
Using the corona expression. So those all things also have updated. So because we need to perform the we need to run the batch Apex, means going to the anonymous window and create the instance and call that instance through the calling operation. But after that they can also provide the changed event trigger, because if opportunity means opportunity changed object, there also we can create the trigger. Similarly, in flow also they provide the lightning scheduler flow and a record triggered flow. So if going to perform some operations like DML operations, insert, update, delete, undelete, all those things, it's possible only in we can write and manipulate all those things through the code in the business logic. But now the updated flow has all those options, so we can perform all those things. Yeah, once you try
automation itself.
Yeah, automation itself. It's a point and click way. They avoid coding concepts.
Coding. Customization.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, customization. Yeah.
But all these 3 things what you have said now, everything will be there in the flow itself, right?
Yeah. Now I think winter 21 release you got updated in your org, means you can see those things.
No, I mean yes, now it was not updated. I'm waiting for that.
Yeah.
I'll try to practice in Trailhead because I have that builder certification. Anyway, I have to do that maintenance.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kadarbash.
Yeah, thank you. So thank you for the participation, and I like to thank you everyone. So Sundaravali, you need to say anything